For this video tutorial to be effective, I will be using this format. First, I will flash each question for about 10 seconds, and you may pause the video whenever you want to give yourself time to try out each question. And finally, I'll explain each question. I'll give you some tips and strategies on how to solve each question. Are you ready? Here we go. In solving two-step equations, it is extremely important that we look at the format of the equation. Usually, the first thing that we need to do is simplify using the inverse of addition or subtraction. And then after that, we need to simplify further by using the inverse of multiplication or division. Question number 1. Solve for y in the equation 3y plus 1 is equal to 10. So in this equation, the first thing that we need to do is to get the inverse of adding 1. And the inverse of adding 1 is subtracting 1. So we minus 1 to both sides. And 1 and negative 1 will cancel out. That's 0. So we have 3y is equal to 10 minus 1 is 9. Now, simplifying this further, we need to do the inverse of multiplying by 3. And the inverse of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. So we need to divide both sides by 3. And that gives us 1y is equal to 3. So the y value here is 3. To check the answer, we can plug in 3 back into the equation. So we have 3 times the y value 3 plus 1. Is it equal to 10? 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 1. And indeed, it is equal. So y equals 3 is the right answer. Question number 2. Solve for u in the equation 17 minus 3u is equal to 50. So the same thing, the first thing that we need to do is using the inverse of addition or subtraction. In this equation, 17 here is positive. So that means we need to do the inverse, which is minus 17. So subtracting 17 to both sides. 17 minus 7 is 0. So we have negative 3u is equal to 50 take away 17 is 33. Now, the variable here is multiplied by negative 3. So the inverse of multiplying by negative 3 is dividing by that same number, negative 3. So negative 3 divided by negative 3 is positive 1. So we have u is equal to 33 divided by negative 3 is negative 11. So u value is negative 11. To check whether the answer is right or wrong, we need to plug in negative 11. So we have 17 minus 3 times negative 11 is that equal to 50? So simplifying negative 3 times negative 11, that's positive 33. And what is 17 plus 33? 50, right? So 50 is equal to 50. So that means u equals negative 11 is the correct answer. Question number 3. Solve for c in the equation 3c minus negative 3 is equal to 18. First thing that we need to do is to rewrite this minus negative. Minus negative is the same thing as plus. So I will rewrite this as 3c plus 3 is equal to 18. Again, we need to simplify using the inverse of adding 3. So which is subtracting 3 to both sides. 3 and negative 3 is 0. We have 3c is equal to 18 minus 3 is 15. Now, what's the inverse operation for 3c? Division, right? So we need to divide both sides by 3 now. And 3 divided by 3 is 1, so we have 1c is equal to 15 divided by 3 is 5. To check the answer, we have 3 times 5 minus negative 3 is it equal to 18. 3 times 5 is 15, minus negative 3 is plus 3, and then equals 18. Yes, it is equal to 18. So both sides are the same. Question number 4. Solve for m in the equation 9 minus 2m is equal to 3. What do we do first in this equation? Yes, we're subtracting 9 to both sides. Minus 9 and minus 9. So 9 minus 9 is 0. We have negative 2m is equal to 3 take away 9 is a negative number, and it is negative 6. So here, m is multiplied by negative 2. So the inverse of multiplying by negative 2 is dividing both sides by negative 2. So negative 2 divided by negative 2 is m, 1m. And negative 6 divided by negative 2 is positive 3. So m is equal to 3. Checking our answer, we need to plug in m is 3. So 9 minus 2 times 3 is it equal to 3. So we have 9 minus 6 is equal to 3. And yes, 3 is equal to 3. Question number 5. Solve for d in the equation d divided by 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So first thing that we need to do is use the inverse of adding 3, which is subtracting 3 to both sides. Now we have d over 2. This becomes 3 minus 3 is 0. And we have is equal to positive 2. Now, what happens to the d in this equation? Well, d is divided by 2. So what's the inverse of dividing by 2? Multiplying by 2, right? So now in this equation, we need to multiply both sides by 2. So you need to multiply both left and right by 2. And the answer for this will be 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we always have d. And we have now 4. So the d value is 4. Checking our answer, we need to substitute d is 4. So we have 4 divided by 2 plus 3 is it equal to 5. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 plus 3. And yes, 5 is equal to 5. So the answer for d value is 4. Question number 6. Solve for j in the equation j divided by negative 2 plus 7 is equal to negative 12. So in this equation, the inverse of plus 7 is minus 7. So we subtract 7 to both sides, and we will have j divided by negative 2. 7 and negative 7 is 0. Is equal to negative 12 minus 7 is negative 19. Now the variable j is divided by negative 2. So the inverse of dividing by negative 2 is multiplying by negative 2. So when we multiply both sides by negative 2, the left side becomes just j because negative 2 divided by negative 2 is positive 1. And the right side, negative 19 times negative 2 is 38. So j is equal to 38. Checking our answer, let's plug in 38. So we have 38 divided by negative 2 plus 7 is it equal to negative 12. What's 32 divided by negative 2? Negative 19, right? Negative 19 plus 7, is it equal to negative 12? Yes, it is. Negative 12 is equal to negative 12. So this problem is written in a different format. Can we add 4 to both sides of the equation? We can't, because here x minus 4 quantity is divided by 3. So in this problem, the first thing that we need to do is to multiply both sides by 3. So this becomes now 3 divided by 3 is 1. So left side is x minus 4. And the right side is 18. Now we need to add 4 to both sides. And that gives us x is equal to 22. To check the answer, let's plug in 22 back into the equation. So we have 22 minus 4 divided by 3 is it equal to 6. Using the order of operations, we need to do first 22 minus 4, that is 18. 18 divided by 3, is it equal to 6? Yes, it is. So we have 6 is equal to 6. Question number 8. Solve for s in the equation negative 3 times the quantity s plus 60 is equal to negative 30. So here, this problem number 8 is written again in a different format. So can we subtract 60 right away? No, we can't. In this case, the first step that we need to do is to divide by negative 3 both sides of the equation. So when you're dividing the left side, you're only dividing negative 3 by negative 3, which is 1. So left side is s plus 60 is equal to negative 30 divided by negative 3 is 10. Now s is added by 60. So the inverse of that is subtracting 60 to both sides. So this is 0. We now have s is equal to 10 take away 60 is negative 50. To check the answer, we will have negative 3, and we have negative 50 plus 60 is equal to negative 30. Are they equal? So the first thing that we need to do is simplify the parentheses using the order of operations. Negative 50 plus 60 is 10, and is it equal to negative 30? So negative 3 times 10 is negative 30, and yes, they're equal. So the right answer is s is equal to negative 50. Question number 9. Solve for q in the equation 4 times the quantity q minus 94 is equal to negative 36. The same thing, just like with question number 8, we cannot do the inverse of negative 94, which is adding 94 to both sides. But the first thing that we need to do is divide both sides by 4. So dividing both sides by 4, 4 divided by 4 is 1. So we have now q minus 94 is equal to negative 36 plus 4 is negative 9. Now the variable q is subtracted by 94. So what's the next step? Adding by 94. So adding 94, negative 94 plus 94 is 0. So we have q is equal to negative 9 plus 94 is the same thing as 94 minus 9. So the answer is positive 85. Q is equal to 85. Checking the answer, we have 4q is 85 minus 94. Is it equal to negative 36? Simplifying first the parentheses, 85 minus 94 is negative 9. And multiplying 4 and negative 9, it's negative 36. So q equals 85 is the right answer. Question number 10. Solve for t in the equation 2 times the quantity t plus 1 is equal to 10. So what's the first step? divide both sides by 2. So dividing both sides by 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we now have t plus 1 is equal to 5. And then we can subtract 1 to both sides. That's the inverse of adding 1. So t is equal to 4. To check the answer, let's plug in t is 4. So we have 2 times 4 plus 1 is equal to 10. So 4 plus 1 is 5. And multiplying 2 times 5 is 10. So yes, 10 is equal to 10. So the right answer is t equals 4. Here are the answers. Did you get 10 out of 10?